Okay, say just put I never met this girl. Don't get into ex-husband girlfriend because I don't want them.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. I think Michael is joining the call, so we may give him another minute or two to join. And then I'll be kind of showing you some simple Nexus stuff today.
Okay, did you all be able to address this? Okay, she's done all those. Good.
All right. Do you guys see my screen?
Yeah, it's a little small.
Yes, I see it.
It's small. Okay. Oh, I know why. All right, hold on. It's because it's sharing both of mine. Let me try again. Is that better?
Yeah, that's better, Jamie.
Okay, good. All right. So we'll get started. And I can't see the chat, so if anybody has a question, you can just stop me and start asking your question. So today we thought we would go over a little bit on Simple Nexus, and when Michael joins, he'll have some more to say about it. But we wanted to make sure everybody on the call at least kind of knew where to go to get started and has logged in and started playing around with it. So the first step, and I'm covering this step because I did not know this step myself when I was joining one of the training calls, and I was like, wait, how'd you get to that site even, right? How do you get in, right? That was the question I had. I didn't even know how to get in. So I know other people might also. So I wanted to make sure that you guys all knew that from your Okta screen that you can find Simple Nexus, and that brings up the Simple Nexus, the website version. And then you also have the app, right? So hopefully at this point, everybody has downloaded the app and then has also taken a moment to log into the web version. And the web version will look like this, right? Because there's some features that you can do in the web version that you cannot do in the app. Any questions on that? Right? Okay. And so then the next thing I wanted to make sure you guys knew so I'm going to put this Simple Nexus training guide out there in the Teams folder. But I know I sent some emails last week, but I've consolidated all that information back into this training document. And so this is the website that brings up the resources that Homestar does have available. So if at any point you want to go back and watch the videos, right, whether it be the borrower, the MLO, or the session they had last Tuesday on processor and MLO, you can go back and watch those. And they do have a couple of job aids down here. The one that the processors will probably likely reference is this one on requesting documents with Simple Nexus. And then the other training that they have pointing us to at this point is under Simple Nexus. If you go to help and support and you go to the actual Simple Nexus website. So unfortunately, that's the only other training I've found at the moment is they want everybody to go find their answers themselves on the Simple Nexus website was the guidance that I was given when I asked for additional training resources. So there's some stuff down here because I was trying to figure out what the partner experience looks like, right? So there's some videos. But unfortunately, I would not necessarily recommend that this is what we would want to send our partner on how to use our new app. So in the meantime, it'll take us a couple more weeks. We'll figure it out and put together something a little bit more appropriate, especially on the partner side, right? And even for our side on how to do the things, right? Because you might do it one day, and if you don't do it again for a couple of weeks, you may not remember some of the stuff. So you don't want to have to always go back and watch a video, right? So having something to reference is what I'm putting together here. So any questions on the training that is available at this point? All right. Okay. So then there's a couple other things that I learned that they touched on that I've documented so far, and I just wanted to review those with you guys. And then I'm going to go into the questions that people sent me last week and answer the questions that I've found answers to, and ones that I found half answers to. So, so I wanted to make sure you guys all knew that you can go in and edit the notification settings. So for example, right now, like Lee is the LO and all the notifications are going to Lee instead of before we had a team email, right? And so I stopped getting all the notifications. Well, you can go into, as the LO can go in to their account and edit any of the notification settings. So if there's somebody else on your team that you want to notify, like when a borrower uploads a document, right? You can go in and add those team members. And I'll do that real quick for you. Hold on. Well, 1 second. I don't know how to get out of this. Okay. Sorry, I'm in the middle of an app and I don't know how to get out of it. Okay. All right, so under settings and account, you can go in and edit the settings, and it's pretty simple here, right? So like I added myself, so when a borrower submits a loan application, right, I'll now get the notification. And if you want to add more people, you just kind of hit the space bar or the tab bar to add a few additional people. All right. So that goes through it. And then, so this job aid was actually out there on the Homestar Simple Nexus for any loan officers, or even when the processors start getting a bunch of these notifications, because it sends a lot of notifications. You can go into your Outlook and set up an Outlook rule. So like you set up a folder, that you set up a folder named Simple Nexus notifications, and then you can set up an Outlook rule. So any email from that sender, which will be the Simple Nexus, will go to that folder. And then you can just go to that folder if you want to keep all the stuff out of your inbox. So those are the instructions there on how to do that. And then these a couple other items that I wanted to touch on is that you can send notifications to the borrower. So for example, if the borrower hasn't finished the app, right? So you can go in and under loan applications, you can find the application and you can send them a reminder, right, to complete the application. Or if you as the loan officer or LOA want to call the borrower and finish the application for them. So that's where you can find the view loan application, right? And it will bring up where they left off. Go down, bring up where they left off. So this borrower of ours left off when they asked for financial information. Not knowing that they could probably just leave those fields blank, right? Because like if you haven't actually applied, it actually asks for their checking account number, right? And so that may stop some borrowers, but you can leave all those fields blank. If it's not a starred field, the borrower doesn't have to fill it in. All right. Any questions on what I've covered so far? All right. Let me go back into Teams chat, see if anybody is. All right. Okay. So I'm going to touch on some of the questions that I found answers to. So I have them these are the question lists that everybody sent and updated. So the green questions I found an answer to, and then some of the rest I've only found partial answers to, or I haven't found an answer at all. So one of the questions I had, and I know we all had, was what if for all the borrowers that applied before the 31st, what do we do with them? Because at one point I thought we could like link them and connect them, but we can't. I even tried it. I tested it with a blank application that we had, and I tried putting in an email that I had set up and sending them some tasks and stuff like that, and they never got it. It would let me like send the application to myself to fill out, but when I filled it out, it started a new application, right? So anybody that applied before the 31st basically is in this old system, and they do everything the old way. So they sign disclosures the old way with the last 4 of their social. They do documents the old way, where they have to upload them into the old portal or email them to you. You can't send them task notifications. So any questions on that part? Okay, so I touched on this question, right? We, like the first week, right? A lot of us saw that applications were started and they weren't finished, right? And so in the training, we touched on how you can go in and finish the application. And we kind of touched on how you can send additional people on your team notifications. And are Zach and Judy on the call? Okay.
Yep, we
Because
are. I am. Yes.
when you guys worked with Amanda, because I know from the call yesterday or the day before, you were asking her some questions. Did she set you guys up differently so that you guys as a team were getting notifications, or did she tell you to go do the notification way I just showed you?
I think we're doing it the notification way that you showed us just now. I believe I have to be, and I spoke to the Poolin team yesterday, and I think how they're doing it is how we have to do it. I have to get coded as Zach's MLOA, and then I'll be able to see everything. And I can't use my app. I have to use his app.
Yeah, right now.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
that's how we're going to get around it.
Yeah, because so that one thing they mentioned on the call, for those of you that were not on it, so only loan officers and people in the system who assign themselves as processors can do anything or request documents. So even if you are the MLOA, you have to go assign yourself as the processor if you want to do a document request. And unfortunately, he was moving faster than I could keep up yesterday, so I wasn't 100% sure where you assign that processor part. So I gotta go back and watch that video. But we also have an issue is that a lot of people, even MLOAs, are not in the list of people too, because it's a predefined list of people that can be selected. And so a lot of our team members are not in that predefined list of people that can be selected to even assign ourselves. So we've got to work through some of those things. All right. And so at some point, I'll show you some more documentation on how you can use the Simple Nexus feature to do any type of DocuSign documents to send them to the borrower. So if you just had a document, you need their signature, you can put it in and DocuSign will do it. If you wanted to like do a gift letter and you put fields in there through DocuSign where they will edit those fields so that the gift letter can be filled out through DocuSign. So that is possible. And I'm not 100% sure about the credit explanation letter. If we can do that, we probably can, but it may be more involved because through DocuSign, you had to go put the actual field in each field that we need them to update. But it may be one, like a useful tool that we can use for borrowers that are more challenged that don't send us their documents back. So I've just got to go play with that some more to figure out how that really works. And so Michael, did you join yet? Maybe not. Okay. They were at a lunch meeting and he thought he was going to be able to join. So this is a key question that as a group or as an individual like team, you probably want to think about this. And so if you had a borrower that applied before the 31st, basically, and you want them to be able to take advantage of the app. And so this also includes the features like using notifications to the realtor partner, right? You just told all your realtors we have this new app, and then their first borrower going through it who applied 2 months ago, they can't even use it, right? So they're looking in the app to see their notifications and they're not going to see any for that borrower unless you basically start their application over. So if you duplicate their app and create a new application or have them reapply on the web or the Homestar app. So that's just going to kind of be a team preference. And Michael and I briefly talked about it, that it may be a semi-best practice, depending on how involved the application already was, is to just start the app over. So we did that yesterday. I have a borrower that I know is out shopping. So I just, before I made any more changes in their application, I just duplicated the application and started over so that when they are ready to buy a house, they'll be in the new system. So.
Hey, Jamie, let me ask you real quick on that. So just to clarify what you said, if they had started their application prior to the 31st and we duplicate it now, it'll be linked to Simple Nexus and we can do it that way?
Yes. Yes.
Even though they did the original prior.
Yeah, because it's a brand new application, right? So
yeah,
it should be.
Sure
I haven't.
Big deal. So like if we duplicated something that was older, it wasn't going to be a big deal. It was still going to be linked.
No, I don't think so. I didn't. On the one I did yesterday, I'll go test that. I'll go test some more pieces of it just to make sure. But I think it should be there like any new application if you duplicated it.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
And don't be confused because on the Simple Nexus screen in Compass, there's this feature where you can link the loan. And so I thought we could link the loan, but you can't. It doesn't do anything. It makes it look like you do anything, but it doesn't actually do anything. And one comment to make on that is they said at some point, unfortunately, I don't know the date, they will convert all the old people to Simple Nexus. But I don't know what the time frame is for that. And so, yeah, so at one point I thought you could link a loan and they could sign the disclosures in the app, but you can't do that. And then on the call yesterday, somebody asked, like, if they start an application and never finished it, and you want to get it out of your applications in your Simple Nexus portal, you can send an email to pipeline support to get that out. So the rest of the questions, that only have a couple of them only have a partial answer to, because that's all I've figured out at this moment. So yeah, there's not. I asked if there was any other training information, and there's not, besides the Simple Nexus website. And at first I wasn't getting notifications, like, because the borrower can start chatting with you and the processor, and I wasn't getting any notifications, and I figured it out, but then I didn't write it down, so I forgot how to do that. So I got to go back and figure that out so I can show you guys if you're not getting the notifications. And then
I'm sorry to interrupt you. I actually saw where you
No, go
if you
ahead.
if you just go to your general settings on your iPhone, then you can pull that up.
Was that where I fixed it? Okay.
Yeah,
I was thinking it was somewhere in the app, but it was the iPhone settings. Okay.
Yeah, you just find the My Home Star Mortgage app, and then in the settings, in your general settings, and then you should see a place for the notifications to be changed.
Okay. And then I don't think Jamie's on the call either. I haven't fully figured out how the processor assignments. So right now, when the borrower applies, I don't know if you guys have noticed, it's actually assigning Amanda Dunn as our processor. It was assigning Stacy Jones, and I asked them why it was assigning Stacy Jones, and they changed something, and the next day it started assigning Amanda Dunn. So nobody's responded to me yet on why it's assigning Amanda Dunn as the default processor. So that's all I've figured out at this point. And so each week, as we all are operating in the system and figure a few more things out, we can share with each other, right? So I'll open this time up to see if anybody else has any other questions or problems they're struggling with, and we can add them to the list of things to get clarified, or if anybody else has something they figured out that they think everybody could find valuable. No takers?
Hey, Jamie.
Yes.
Yeah. Back to that question about whether or not an older loan will, if you go into the Simple Nexus spot on the LOLP page, and you go to link loan. You're saying that if you click on that, if you click on that, like it doesn't do anything.
It doesn't. No, it doesn't do anything. I tried it.
So
I even sent. I tried sending that test borrower some document requests and everything, and it never notified that borrower that I sent them document requests.
Okay, because I mean, I have a loan that I started in like the beginning of January, and I went to that tab and I clicked on link loan, and I sent them the invite, and I mean that loan is in my Simple Nexus on my phone, and I'm able to see everything that is in Encompass. I'm not sure, like,
Yeah. So you can see in Simple Nexus loans that were created before the 31st, but it
but
doesn't link it in that you can send them document requests and that they can sign their disclosures in the app, or they can't upload disclosures in the app. So they can't,
okay,
the borrower can't use the app.
okay,
Because if they go to log on, because I tried logging on with the like username and ID that I had set up, and it created a whole new application for that
uh,
borrower.
okay,
Because it let me send tasks to the borrower, to my fake borrower, but my fake borrower never got the task.
okay. Never mind then.
So Brittany, the question that you asked was one I actually asked yesterday in the training that they never addressed, on adding some of these other people. So like Karen had a question, like a lot of times we have a realtor that's is the actual person uploading the documents and stuff like that. So we don't know how to address that at the moment. Of that may still have to be done the old way, right? Through email. If it's a third party person like a mom or the realtor that's actually uploading documents and stuff. But yeah, for like a transaction coordinator, you should be able to add them like any other partner and link them to the loan. But what I don't know, Brittany, actually, is that we may need to ask the question is, can a borrower have multiple partners? Like if you added the transaction coordinator, can you also add the the realtor?
Yeah, I think yesterday when I was looking, I only seen the buyer's agent and listing agent. So I couldn't find that yesterday. So that's why I was wondering.
And Michael, are you on now? Do you want to add anything? Okay. So we will keep, as we all learn it, keep note of making sure everybody else gets the same information that we have. So if you guys have questions, just send them to me. And if you've like figured something out you think that the team would find valuable, you can also send that to me and I'll add it to the training documentation. So that's all I have today. If nobody else has any other questions.
Thank you, Jamie.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Jamie.
All right. Bye.